Trump could declassify all of the J6 files on day one.
The president of the United States is the classification authority for the United States of America. So, let me say that again. The president of the United States is the classification authority for the United States of America. He can decide what is classified and what is not classified. All this crap about this CIA and this bullshit. The president of the United States is the classification authority for the entirety of the United States of America. And that includes anything that any contractor touches. Okay? That's the authority given to the president by the judgment of the American people as a duly elected president according to our Constitution. That's reality. That's the fact. So all this stuff, like the JFK files, dump them. It's like when what the hell was the guy? I just lost my train of thought on the WikiLeaks. Julian Assange. Mm-hmm. Dump it all out there. Yeah. As a journalist, boom, jump it all out there and let's see what we got.
I want to see all the files pertaining to the investigations on J6ers.
Yeah.
When they're traveling across the country, when they raided, that was a woman in Alaska, I think. They got a case of mistaken identity, raided her home and went, oops, wrong person. I want to see the communications as to how that happens and why anyone cared. Right. What are they saying behind the scenes where they're like, we really need to fly halfway around the world, go to Alaska and raid some woman's home?
Yeah. I think what we're going to see, and there's so much stuff. So my warning out to people right now, and Trump kind of did this a couple of months back with a cease and desist thing, like about cheating in the elections. Don't cheat. If you get caught and I win, Katie bar the door. Anybody in the United States government right now, that is taking their little government-issued phones or taking their computers, and anybody that's in a leadership position that is starting to delete shit and trying to tell me, because I will come after you, trying to tell me that because we're transitioning the government, we're going to transition our computers, we're going to go to a new system. That is total bullshit. It's just like you get an order. Public records. Exactly. It's just like you get an order from a judge that says, I've had plenty of them. You protect everything. Trump, every text message, every email, protect it all.
Isn't that what RFK Jr. said?
Trump should tweet this right now.
He should.
Every federal worker, preserve your records.
Well, RFK Jr. was saying this.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, pack your bags and preserve your records.
Exactly. Yeah. and so that message needs to go out on every single massive, these big podcasters, these big influencers, as you guys are. This needs to go out. Because I know that there are good people in the U.S. government. Okay? I know this. And they're waiting for President Trump to get back in charge. And this time to have a group of people that, are trustworthy, believe in the Constitution and actually want to move the country in a very positive direction. Not the direction that we were heading, because we weren't at the edge. We weren't like at the edge, right? I don't know if people can see that. We were in the abyss.
Then Donald Trump, like Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I think the team is the key.
It is.
Right? Again, that's why you mentioned the docuseries. It's so great that it's coming out with him winning, because it doesn't mean that it's irrelevant. You have to know the history so we don't repeat it.
Well, so we only have a few minutes left, but where can people find the series? What's going on?
Yeah, it's out today on Tucker Carlson's network. So 6 parts, interview with General Flynn, with Tucker Carlson, with Rudy Giuliani, Kash Patel, Carter Page, Steve Bannon, George and Simona Papadopoulos, Roger Stone. And they're fascinating stories, again, because each one will take you deeper into this web. As you'll see, this whole Russian collusion narrative was really a conspiracy by the deep state. There's no Russians in the story. They're all people that just had some level of, hey, we should get along with the Russians. You must be a Russian spy. You're a Russian stooge. We're going to investigate you.
The FBI fabricated evidence against Carter Page. Is that what happened?
The FBI fabricated evidence against me.
Everybody.
Against everyone.
The Carter Page thing was the FISA that they got was using the Steele dossier as the basis, and the Steele dossier was just made up.
But they omitted that he was an informant. Is that...
They omitted so much.
Actually, one of the guys actually changed. I think he either changed the word or he eliminated the word. So a word in his testimony.
Kevin Kleinsmith,
yes,
right?
Yes, where it basically changed the meaning of the evidence, right? The culture inside the FBI, like the culture inside of many organizations in the government, and you're going to hear this in this series from every one of us. There's going to be a consistency that's going to come out in all the different people that Sean just mentioned, and there is a deep rot in our government, and that rot, like a cancer, like a metastasized cancer, needs to be removed, excised, and Elon's going to be part of it. Bobby Kennedy's going to be part of it. Trump is going to have to, put his sort of premature on it. He's going to have to stamp this thing. And there's going to be other people that I know that want to get in there to help. And,
I love
I'm looking forward to it.
Matt Walsh made a joke on X. He said, now that Trump has won, can we admit that the plan was Project 2025 the whole time? And he's trolling. Steve Bannon then on his show saw that and laughed and said, yeah, let's send that one out to everybody. And the media, these news organizations, these media outlets on the left, I cannot imagine they genuinely believe this. Seamus Cogley made a really great point. He says, Matt Walsh is a guy who has built up this massive notoriety from two interviews where he mocked the left and liberals, one where he disguised himself as a liberal and tricked these people. His profile picture is him dressed as some liberal, some lefty hipster, and they still take the bait. And my attitude is they know it's not true. And not just to focus on this one thing about 2025, but any opportunity they can to pull something out of context, to scare people who don't pay attention is what they do to try and steal and maintain power.
Right. It's called projection. And they will project their ideas onto you, and they will try to make you believe it. Believe things that you would otherwise not believe. So, yeah.
But I do think people are starting to wake up. Because one of the stories we covered last night is that this guy, David Pakman, who's a liberal commentator, made this emergency video where he said, we're bleeding paid subscribers. We've lost 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. Please stop unsubscribing. He's like, I called some of these other big prominent liberals and they're losing subscribers like crazy. And it says to me, one, I think there's a component of a lot of it is fake, bot accounts meant to prop up these individuals who are pushing misinformation. But I do believe a big component is after this election, people realized, hey, those people were lying to me the whole time. They had me convinced that Kamala, this is funny, Kyle Kalinske, he actually projected that Kamala would win Iowa and Florida. He said it was his bearish projection was that she wins all swing states, Iowa and Florida, but he thinks it's more likely she just wins all of the swing states, but worst case scenario, she wins 276. And every one of his projections were completely wrong. So when I hear that these liberals are losing tons of subscribers, it sounds to me that regular people are starting to wake up more and more, realizing they've been lied to the whole time.
Well, I think there's a mixture of things going on. One, I love that the conspiracy theorists are not coming out saying, "Well, where are those millions of voters? Where did they go?" And you go, "Ha ha ha!" Now you realize what happened in 2020 was the anomaly, not 2024, right? But this is we have to revisit 2020, which is again in the series.
I mean, I want people to know that we're winning. We are winning, and we're winning because we're not giving up, and that's the DNA of every single American. Is this idea that we will not give up our freedom. It's just built into us, and we're not going to give up, and we're winning. And this was another example of it.
We've got only a couple minutes left, so I think maybe we'll just do some final thoughts and some wrap up. So, Sean, do you want to just give your final thoughts and then shout out the show and where people can find you?
Yeah, I mean, final thoughts. I think, again, to what you just said, we instinctively as Americans, we have freedom as our base. That's our compass, right? That's our true north. And I think that's why the New World Order agenda that we've been discussing and the globalist agenda has had such a hard time with America. It's like, it's not just about, taking away your right to free speech, taking away your guns, shifting your government to become more, under the umbrella of the federal government and then under the, under global governance ultimately, right? That's the agenda. It's having a hard time with us because we, as Americans, we just believe in freedom and it's like, it's in our DNA. And so I really feel that there's a shift that's taking place. 2020, in many ways, was that awakening that people have talked about, and everything that we're seeing now is the consequence of it. And it's like we're not going back. I think that's the real thing. Is that Kamala's point was, we aren't going back, but we're not going back to your globalist agenda. We're not going back to that. We're going forward towards a freer future. Return to our republic, restoration of the republic. Everything that I think Trump and the team that he's brought together can potentially help lead us to. But each one of us has to do our part in it. We can't trust that Trump's going to solve it. No, we have to, each one of us, do what we're doing, keep informing people, keep working at it, keep reforming the system, keep calling out the bullshit, as you said, hold people accountable. That's the only way we're going to win.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon, so subscribe and come hang out.